Hey everybody, welcome back to the next video in our Airtable for Land Investor series. This is part 2 of the property inventory status log. In the last one, we kind of showed you all the different views for this table. Now we're going to show you, kind of walk you through the process of getting a property in here, or how you need to train your VA to get the property in here. Now there are two different ways you can add property in here. You can do it off the Kanban view, and you can hit the little plus button on any one of these actually to get a new property started, or you can go to the all property view here, and you can just down here click on that and start typing in the APN number and get started that way, and then just scroll across here and continue to add in all the information as you need. We're going to do it this way though from the Kanban view. We'll just go ahead and start entering some information in. So again, like I said, we hit the plus button and we just start typing. Okay, got to have the APN. Get your APN in there. All right, the next thing is property nickname. Now Eric Peterson has a great video on Investor Ninjas on how he kind of nicknames his properties, and I have borrowed that format and tweaked it a little bit for myself. But you definitely want to have a specific nickname for each property to help you remember what property it is. You got to remember some of your notes can carry on for over 5 years, so you need to have a reference number that you can easily remember, like what year you bought it in and stuff like that. So here's how I do mine. I do, we'll do a state, we'll do a county, okay, and then I do, underscore, I do the APN, followed by the size, okay. And then I do the first initial of the first name and first initial of the last name for whoever my seller was. So if we did John Doe, okay. And then the next thing I would want to do is I put in a subdivision, if you happen to know what that subdivision is for me. And then I do the year I bought it. That is how I nickname every single one of my properties. It's up to you. You can do whatever you want to nickname them. Now, again, remember this admin tab. This is the one that tells your system what process of the life cycle of a property you're in. So for this one, right now we're in intake. Okay, so it's going to move it out of the uncategorized, and it's going to move it over into the intake folder that we have over there. Okay, and every time we change this, it'll move it down the pipeline for us. All right, so the next thing you want to do is seller name. That's pretty much a given there, pretty self-explanatory. And then you can check that we are now in intake. Awesome. All right, source, simple. How'd you get that land? You can mail or wholesale, land or website, doesn't matter. Again, just remember, if you need something else in there, you can start typing, and it'll always give you the option to add something new if you want to add another option in there. All right, status. You do or do not have to use these if you want. It's up to you, but they're in there. Okay, so right now it'd be the active status. What stage is it in? Okay, it's an intake stage, but as you can see, you can continue to move this down different stages. Okay, get that all set up. All right, and then date received. So when did this letter come in? Okay, and then right here, you would go ahead and upload the intake letter, or have your VA upload the letter that came in, the mailer. Any notes that your VA has come up with or that you need to capture in there. All right, so you've got the letter back. Now, what date did you actually call the seller and talk to him? Put that date in there. Now, my intake manager has a very awesome questionnaire that he sends out to all of our prospective sellers, and then he uploads it in here for me to review. That's also great information for your VAs down the road who do your advertising, marketing, and write your ad content. They can come take a look at that questionnaire too and get some information that they may need. Okay, so we can upload that there. Are there any other names on the letter? Is it a husband, a wife? Are we going to be working through some probate stuff? So we need deceased parents' names and stuff like that. All right, what's the mailing address of the seller, phone number, email? Okay. How do they prefer to be contacted? Phone, email, text message. Makes it easy. Okay. Whoa. get out of that there. Okay, property state. What state was the property in? Where is the property in? Okay, what county? What's the size? What's the subdivision? What's the legal property address or legal description? Okay, is this a lot that you bought wholesale? Add the wholesale details in there. Is this a lot you bought land arb? You could put that in there as well. Okay. Offer price. This would be the price that you offered. So let's say you offered $1,000. Okay. What did they counter? Let's say they wanted $1,500 for it. That's fine. All right. Okay. Again, this is all through your intake. So right about this point is if you've decided you want to purchase this or move forward, this little button right here, we're going to show you some really cool stuff with Zapier, where once you click this button, it sends an automatic zap to your due diligence team or VA, and they can go ahead and start their due diligence process. So one of the last videos is going to show you set up those very cool zaps. Okay, so here's the date that is requested. Okay, back taxes. Is it an HOA? Are there dues? All right, now let's just say that this property, you figured out that there actually were some back taxes of $500. Okay, and let's just say that now there's $500 in back taxes. They want $1,500. You said you'll pay $1,000. You know what? We're going to agree that I will pay them $750 for that property. Okay, it's going to then it's going to tell you what your actual total purchase price, the nice little formula, is for that property, including the back taxes, right? So I'm going to pay them $750 plus the $500 I have to then pay off in back taxes. So I'm actually paying $1,250 for that property. Such a cool little feature there, just kind of help keep track of your numbers for you. Any other files that come in, like trust files or death certificates and stuff like that, you want to upload them here. Okay, put the link for the due diligence report that gets sent back to you. And then at that point, it's time for title search. So another zap is set up to monitor this. And when you hit that button, it'll go ahead and send all the information that you deem necessary over to your title search VA. And he can run title for you. Okay, what date did you request that? When was it returned? Okay, here's where you've gone ahead and you've approved the title. You've looked at it, made sure it's okay. Make sure your title documents are uploaded here so you have them. All right, and then at that point, that's when I consider due diligence complete. It's when due diligence is done and title search is done. So we can put the complete date there. If everything checks out, purchase is approved, and we need to do the pre-marketing. All right, at that point, we need to send the deed to the seller so that they can get it notarized and send it back to us. So there's the date we sent it, date is returned. How do we pay them? Do we pay them by check? Do we checkbook IO? Do we send them do credit card? How did we pay for the property? Okay, the date that we sent the payment, and then a lot of these places will let you print out like a PDF copy to verify that the check or whatever you're using is sent. Go ahead and upload that file here for reference later on down the road. All right, and then you got the deed back from that seller, and we recorded it on this date. So at that point, that's kind of when I consider that the purchase is complete. Okay, so that's when we say the purchase was done. All right, send to accountant. Say we've got the basic information. We know how much we paid for it. We need to get this over into the accountant's hands so that they can go ahead and get it logged into whatever our software. I happen to use a Xero and the Scott Todd method. You can use QuickBooks or whatever else you do. All right, and then we need to put a little note. Hey, did we send this to our buyers list yet? Okay, have we done wholesale? Is this going to be a wholesale lot that we want to send? And here are a few more zaps here. Okay, add to website, Facebook marketing, or a follow-up boss marketing, send to copywriter, and send to photographer. All of those can be set up with zaps to take specific information and send that to whoever you have doing all of that, so that with one click, you've got the process going, okay? And then you can also put your website link, list on Landmodo. Again, you can set that up with a zap to send it over to whoever does that for you, and they can go ahead and list it on Landmodo for you, okay? This is the note sections that you can put to, I have this linked to my zaps so that I have extra information that any of my EVAs might know. And then when it's time to advertise, you hit this advertise button. And again, you can have that set up with a zap so that it goes to whoever is your Facebook or Craigslist marketing manager. They know, hey, we've got a new lot. We need to start advertising it. Let's go ahead and start pulling some documents. Let's go ahead and start making some ads and getting things ready to go ahead and post out to the world. All right. Any sales documents that you might need for reference. Okay. Master drive link. Again, like I said, I create a master drive link for every property. It could be Google Drive, or it could be Dropbox or Box or whatever cloud-based system you use, but that's just where I store all my pictures, files, and everything else that my VAs are going to need access to. I make sure that they get a Google Maps link in here, the GPS coordinates, and then here's where I take over. I do all my own pricing. You could have a VA do that if you want, but here's the wholesale price that I want for it, cash price that I want for it, recommended terms pricing, the doc fee we're going to charge, the monthly property taxes that I will be collecting, the note service fee monthly, and then I always put the GeekPay link in here. So that way that my VAs, when they're working with customers, they say, hey, I want to put that down payment down. I go ahead and send that GeekPay link, where I set the GeekPay link up for the down payment and doc fee, and I have my VA send that out to whoever wants to purchase the property. And then any notes. All right, now here's some of the other interesting, cool formulas that I've added in here for you. Okay, so once we've sold it, we've moved it to sold, date sold, we can do the type of sale, if terms or cash, and then we add all that information in here, a little bit of detail, all right? And then down here where we have accounting, okay, oh, sorry, I missed something. If you're using LG Pass or whatever, however you have your land sale contract drawn up, you'd want to put a copy in here for reference down the road as well. All right, so here is our accounting. So how much of a down payment did we collect? So to say we collected $99. We collected $149 for a doc fee. Our monthly payment is $99. Okay, and the property taxes we're going to collect are going to be $5. Note service fee is $10. Oop, I didn't catch. $5. Oh, what's going on here? Okay, it took $5, perfect, no HOA. So I did a couple of formulas here so that you have an idea of some accounting stuff here. Your account should be taking care of it on the back end, but just so you have a kind of a little idea of what your numbers are, okay? You should be collecting about $20 and putting it into your slush fund for your standard income tax at the end of the year. I did that based off 20% standard income tax. Now you can change that depending on what your accountant says, but that should give you a ballpark of about how much tax per month you're going to need to collect and put into whatever fund. So that leaves $79.20 as your profit for this property each month, which gives you a cash on cash yield of 103%. I'll take that every day. Remember, we're trying to get 72% or better on our yield. All right, and then any admin notes you have, and then some of these, they show up here, but they do not show up on different views. This is kind of a weird thing with Airtable, but some of these are actually hidden little notes here. I'm not sure why they show up here, but they do. And then down here, we have a couple other things. As you start to post ads, we're going to link this property to the ads we post and the Facebook leads that come in. Now, as we do that, it will start showing how many leads we got for this account, the ads that we used, and we'll show you how that all links shortly, and then the ads that were posted. That way, and it'll also tally it for you too, the number of ads. So you'll be able to see, hey, it took 10 ads to sell this property, and it took me 30 leads before I sold this property. So it's kind of cool just to kind of keep track of your numbers and your metrics to kind of see what you're doing with your land. Now, this is about as basic as you can get. There are definitely some more advanced things you can do that I don't teach in this particular course. And that is about it. So that is how you would get a new property into here. And there it is. You can see we did this one right here, right? That's in there because unnamed, so I didn't put an APN in there. And then again, all you have to do is every time we get to a new spot, just moves it and we're good to go. All right, that is the end of this video. I need a drink because I'm losing my voice here. So stay tuned for the next video. We're going to be going over our mailing log and moving on. Thanks, guys, and see you on the next one.